Alright, this is me sometime in the 1950s at the house in Staten Island, 637 Clove Road. Gotta be a prom or a graduation, but I have no idea which. Kinda stupid. Same scene, backyard. Still in the backyard. Boy, I was a ham. I don't know who's taking this video. Okay, we're in the backyard again. Those are roses. That looks like a cactus. These were all taken originally with 8mm film. Each reel only ran about 2.5 to 3 minutes. Okay, backyard barbecue. That's my mother's. Let's see. Well, that's my father. There's my mother. That's Aunt Mamie, Mary. It's Uncle John and his wife, Mary. The two kids that you saw were their children. My cousin Francis, he's the one with the hat on over there. He was an attorney, started a bank in Kearney, New Jersey, died very young. That's a very primitive grill. Okay, that gentleman over there is a next door neighbor, Mr. Holler. That's my Uncle Eddie, his wife, and one of their children. And look at that beer, I'd almost be willing to bet it's R&H. There's my mother over there. That's my father. Black shirt, white tie, and that's our dog Sandy. And it had to be Christmas. And this would be the inside of the house on Clove Road. Nice brick fireplace, yellow bricks. Next door neighbor, Mr. Howler. The little girl there, that would be Audrey Mary, my Uncle Eddie's daughter. And those are all of his children. Next door neighbor, Mrs. Howler. That's my brother Carl. And of course, being 8mm, we had no sound back then. Again, one of my Uncle Eddie's children. I was sitting by the fireside. My Uncle Eddie's children and our dog. Next door neighbor. Now my father's got the tie off and the jacket on. And again, my brother Carl. That's the next door neighbor's dog, a cocker spaniel. That my father's playing with. Now, my brother's playing with the dog. All through the year, each day the same. My Uncle John trying out a new razor that my father had. I think he got it for Christmas. He was over visiting and he said, well, let me try it. He used to work for Esso, which became Exxon. That is my grandmother's sister, I believe. Quick look. Okay, that looks like it's probably my mother's cousin, who is also Helen Gallinitis, and the child there was one of Uncle John's kids, either Rita or Carol. That was my cousin Francis, or my mother's cousin Francis, my brother Carl. That's Rita in the pink over there on the left. That was Aunt Sophie at the end of the table. That's my mother's cousin Helen. That was Mary Gallinitis, my Uncle John's wife. This is our backyard, the cherry tree in bloom. My dog Sandy tied up there. Oh, it's me with an outboard motor. put it in a garbage can, clean it out, see if it runs. Always ran fine in a garbage can. You put it on a boat, it wouldn't go no place. Okay, 6:04. That's my mother, Helen Feith. She's working in the rock garden in the front of the house, picking out weeds. Okay, this is a funeral, unfortunately. My mother, that's Aunt Mary, my grandmother, my Uncle John. If I recall correctly, well, not a funeral, but they're going to the grave. It's Easter time. That's my grandmother, Grandma Bayonne. Her name is Mary, and that is Uncle John with her and his wife. And they're visiting my grandfather's grave, which is in St. Peter's Cemetery in Staten Island. And that's my father walking with them there. Obviously, I'm taking the pictures. That's my father cutting the hedges at the house on Clove Road, over there in Staten Island. That's Grandma Bayonne. And next to the azalea bushes, we had two of those in the front of the house. I believe she even planted them. You won't see any pictures of her husband because he died before I got the movie camera. And that's her with my mother. And I think that was Carl peeking out of the window if you caught it. There he comes. See, everybody poses for pictures. Oh, there's me again. I don't know what the occasion is, whether it's Easter or what. My grandmother and Carl with the dog. My grandmother at this time, well, all the time, lived in Bayonne at 23 West 15th Street, and she had the upper floor. My Uncle John, his wife Mary, and my father again. And that's me and my brother. He's trying to spin a propeller on a gasoline airplane engine. Someone's got our fingers chopped off with that thing more than once. I can't give you any exact years for these, but these are all in the 1950s. It's my grandmother again, it's my father working in the front yard. As I was saying before, she lived in Bayonne. She lived on the top floor. And on the bottom floor, the first floor, my Aunt Anna lived with her husband, who was Hank, and their last name was Molesky. He ended up owning Gus and Hank's Tavern on Broadway in Bayonne. He also had a son called Sonny. His actual name was Tank or Henry, but they didn't call him that. They called him Sonny. But I don't think you'll see any pictures of him in here. Again, we're in the backyard of the house on Clove Road in Staten Island. That's my brother and his friend. And they're fishing down at Brooks Park, which was right across the street from the house. We used to be down there all the time. And my brother's the one in the light-colored shirt. Again, it's my brother and his friend. His friend has like the purple striped shirt with the airplane there. I know he worked on that thing. I don't think it ever flew though. If it did, it didn't fly long. That was one of those things that you fly with the wire, and I think we flew it once and got dizzy, and that was it. They didn't really want to kill me, just thought he did. Well, that's self-explanatory at the picnic. Okay, my father, that was my mother's cousin. That's Aunt Mamie. Now that's Aunt Sophie over there with my grandmother. Aunt Sophie is sitting down. That would have been my grandfather's sister. That's my mother's cousin Helen, who's doing her hair. Again, my Uncle John, his wife Mary. First one on there is Carol, her daughter, and Rita, the one in the like red jacket. And that's my mother's cousin Francis sitting over there next to my Aunt Mary and Uncle John on the right. He had polio when he was young, and as you can see, his right hand is somewhat deformed. I think I said already that he started a bank in Kearney. He was an attorney. He died very young, shortly after he got married, but he had 2 children. My Aunt Mamie, real name Mary, she never got married. Don't know how true it is, but ostensibly the reason was she just felt funny because she had TB when she was very young. Don't actually know if she did or didn't. And behind my mother there is her cousin Helen. Again, last name Galanitis. She got MS and she died very young. She was only in her 40s, I believe. Okay, it's my grandma Bayonne again, enjoying a hamburger. They were in big demand that day. It's my Aunt Mamie, my mother. It's Carol and Rita, my Uncle John's 2 daughters, and sitting on the bench there. That's Francis Galanitis, the one who was the attorney, started the bank, had polio, died probably in his late 40s, maybe early 50s. My mother, Carol and Rita. My mother's cousin, Helen, and my Uncle John's wife, Mary. Helen is the one in the red sweater. As you can tell, the girls weren't too happy to be there. It was a family thing. That would be Carol over there eating with my mother. My Uncle John. I'd like to thank the guy who wrote the song. Francis, my mother's cousin. Her father. This is going to be Carl's. I'm not sure if it's his communion or his confirmation. And this would have been at Blessed Sacrament Church, which is Manor Road and Forest Avenue. You got to look close to find him in here, but he's there. There he is. He's the only one without the flower, because he got there a little late and they wouldn't give it to him. So he didn't get a flower. Boy, my mother was mad about that. There he is, the only kid without a father. This is after it's all over, and I have no idea who this is, but he looked important. And actually, I can tell you who the priest is, Father McAuliffe. That's just over the doorway to the church.
Darling, bum, 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 and my honey, rama, rama, ding dong, forever. And when I say dip, 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 you know I mean it.
This is actually the back of the school.
Boogity, 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 shoe.
There was some ceremony there, I think, where you burn something. Okay, we got out of that. This is my brother again. I think he's lighting off a sparkler. So it must be around the 4th of July. And that's what it is. Okay, here we are in the water, and I'm not sure where this is yet. I think when I get up, that's my father and mother in the water there. My brother. And this is Bud Lake, New Jersey. There we are. That's my old motor. It's got that water that we had in the garbage barrel. And this is Bud Lake again. Brought the motor up, rented a boat, cruising around the lake. Went a few times, the thing worked. That was one of the first outboard motors that had a shift from forward to neutral to reverse. All the other motors, you had to turn them around to go backwards. How big was it? 7.5 horsepower. Now, since I'm in a boat, it's got to be my mother taking the pictures. I don't think Carl did this. No, because there he is. He's still swimming. We're back in the boat now. Everybody's in the boat. I'm still on Bud Lake. You can see how the color is fading. That's me, obviously. That's my brother Carl. Despite how he looks, he was real happy to be operating the motor. As you can see, it changed now. Shoes on, yeah, I was a rolling and a strolling, reeling with the feel, moving and a grooving, splishing and a splashing. Hey! water skier on Bud Lake. Okay, another family 4th of July thing. That's Carl. That's our mother. Got the barbecue going and the sparklers, it looks like. It's my dad. It's back in our house on Clover Road. Brother with the sparklers. That's without any lights. The only light is from the sparkler. The scene before this where you could see him, that was as a result of two 500-watt spotlights. There he is reading Airboy, my father at the kitchen table inside. My father used to work as a aluminum door and window installer. Next door neighbor, my mother. Back steps, friend of mine, Kenneth Lefevre. Next door neighbor, Mr. Holler. Carl, my father again. And our dog Sandy. That's me. Obviously. As you can tell, we really knew how to enjoy ourselves on an evening. Well, I must have been showing movies because I'm either putting up a screen or taking it down. Looks like I'm taking it down. Movies are over. No dryers back then. You hung it up on a clothesline. Next door neighbors again. Now my brother Carl, our dog. And this is all floodlights, as I said. Two 500-watt bulbs and reflectors.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about a science book.
This is our biggie, sparklers.
Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you.
Another picnic. Okay, what we got? That's my Aunt Mary. That's their children. That's my Aunt Mamie in the one dress. My grandmother over there. My father's talking to the neighbor. That's Carl alongside of him. Again, Aunt Mary. That would be Rita. Okay, we switch scenes again. My grandmother sitting down. The woman facing her would be her sister. There's my Aunt Mamie. Okay, that's my Uncle John. John Gallinitis. He's the welder who worked for Esso, which later became Exxon. It's my father sitting down. That'd be my mother with the onions, I think. No, it's my Aunt Mary, who is called Mamie. Okay, that's Uncle John's wife, Mary. That's their daughter, Carol, with the stripes. That woman behind there is a friend of my mother's cousin, Helen Gallinitis. My Uncle John, you can tell it's him, just look at the hair. My father. Okay, that's my grandmother, Grandma Bayonne, and her sister. Okay, over there we have two friends of my mother's cousin, Helen Gallinitis. Now, they're the ones who live, I'm not sure exactly if it's in Jersey City or at the border of Jersey City and Bayonne, and they live in Bayonne. But those are just two of her friends who came to the picnic. My Uncle John putting out the fire. The charcoal caught fire while in the bag. Not a good thing. Friend of my mother's cousins. Aunt Mary, married to John. It's the Barkus woman and one of the children from my Uncle John. It's my Aunt Mary. We call her Mamie. It's my grandmother's sister. I can't remember her name though. My grandmother and sister. When she was working, she used to work in Bayonne, and she used to clean bathrooms. My brother Carl. It's Mamie, Rita Galanitis, my father, my mother, my Uncle John, Mamie, Rita, one of the Barkuses, my Aunt Mary Galanitis, John's wife. I'm going through this whole thing again. But anyhow, my grandmother's husband was John, and he worked for Esso, retired from them, died a short time later. All right, here we have a little baby. I'm not sure whose. I think this is my Aunt Audrey's daughter, Nancy, when she was just born. And let's see who we have in the picture. Yes, that is my Aunt Audrey's sister. She has since died. I can't remember her name, but the family name, even that escapes me right now. And the children in there are all my Uncle Eddie and Aunt Audrey's children. That's my Uncle Eddie. That's me. And I know that's Nancy because we were the godparents to Nancy. And that's what this occasion is. This is all in Bayonne at their house, which was a few blocks away from my grandmother's house, but I can't remember the name. I can't remember these kids' names, but they're all my Uncle Eddie's kids. That's my father over there. That's my brother Carl again. Notice the style, the armband, the elastic, I forget what you call them. Uncle Eddie and his children, Mamie, which is my Aunt Mary, and it's Aunt Audrey in the background there, my brother and me, and Aunt Audrey's sister, again, I just can't remember her name. My grandmother over there. What the glasses think is how do I say? Audrey Mary, I think it is. And of course, she's married now, and she lives down in Toms River. I think her last name now is Zigamund. The older woman that you just got a glimpse of with the glasses was my Aunt Audrey's mother. That's her to the left of my Aunt Audrey right there. That's her mother. The red Oldsmobile convertible, and those two people, that is Vivian and Vernon, and that's me, and we're washing the car. This is shortly after I met my wife, which would be your mother or grandmother or great-grandmother, depending upon who's viewing this. That was a 1953 Oldsmobile Super 88. Dual exhausts, a convertible. Looks like it's sinking into the mud. It probably was. This is in front of 230 Auburn Avenue, where she lived at that time. Her name was Eleanor Rogers. Her father was Harry Rogers. Mother was May Rogers. Two of her sisters, Vivian and Vern, washing the car. That one is Vern. And that one is Vivian. Now they're twins. Or could you tell it? Oh, I think she bent over and her pants split, so she got embarrassed. Oh, wait a minute, that's not me, that's my brother. I didn't think he was in this. And that is the famous Eleanor Rogers. And how old was she? 18, 19. Car looks pink there, but it was really a bright candy apple red. And yes, she did have Titian hair, which is hair that has a reddish tint. And that's me. Green corduroy jacket, cigarette, black leather upholstery in the car. And as you can see, the road was not paved. And at this time, this car was only a few years old. Vivian and Vern again, Vivian being the one who just jumped. Car in the background is Uncle Charlie's. It was probably a 1951, 52 Mercury, something like that. Maybe even a 1950, I'm not sure, I don't remember. Okay, this looks like it is an engagement party. When we were getting married, it took place down in the basement of the cellar at 637 Clove Road. All right, this is in the basement, the engagement party. And I paused it here. I don't know who everybody is because they were members of, our family, our side, and her side and everything. But the woman in the dress with the polka dots effect, sort of, her name is Catherine Feith, and that was my Uncle Henry's wife. And the only reason I point this out is simply because she had a hard time in her life, and there are not very many pictures of her at all. And she died, when she was in her 40s, I believe, maybe early 50s. But I just wanted to make a note that, she was there. And now we'll move on. I kissed you. Oh yeah, I kissed you. I kissed you. Oh yeah. This little girl of mine. Okay, right there in the middle we have my cousin Francis. I'm sorry, cousin Francis. My cousin, his cousin, Helen Yellowhead, is the one who lives up in, or did live up around Jersey City. And that, believe it or not, is May Rogers, who is my mother-in-law. And she was pretty young there. That's Vivian, her daughter. And here comes the guest of honor. Eleanor Rogers yet. Well, it's me. And as you can see, it certainly is in the basement. There's the pipes and everything. That was her sister Jean, or Jeannie. Shouldn't say that. She still is her sister. These pictures aren't all in sequence, but this probably would have been taken early in 1958, or late in 1957.
Believe it or not, but she was right on time, and that's why.
Is Eleanor's mother, my mother-in-law. There's Vivian. That's her sister Jeannie right there. That's Vern. The last name is all Rogers so far, except for Jeannie. Her last name is Satani because she was married at the time. That would be Vern. Okay, I'm not sure who these people are. I think they may have been friends of your grandmother, my wife, Eleanor. There's Grandma Bayonne again. She was there. That would be my father and the next door neighbor, the Hollers. That's me and my wife, who could be your mother or your grandmother or your great-grandmother. Or your great-great-grandmother. Maybe I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. Man, it looks like Carl pouting in the corner there. Uh-oh. Here's the wedding. It's official. We're getting married. Everybody took pictures of this, so I have no idea who did the picture taking. I know part of it was done by some guy I used to work with by the name of Jimmy Morse. And who did the others? I don't know. It's Jerry Satani. Okay, we gotta give him an honorable mention. The Reverend Ron Wald. He was a joker. October 25th, 1958. Okay, that's Jeannie Satani and her husband Jerry Satani. Jeannie, of course, being my wife's sister. And Jerry Satani, there aren't too many more pictures of him because he died of a heart attack when he was only in his early 50s. And I live over in New Jersey, in a place called Highland Park, which is by Edison. That's Vivian there to the right. That's a friend of mine, Kenneth Lefevre. That's Vern. That's my brother, and I think that was his girlfriend at the time. It was baby Jerry Satani there. And that's, well, it's my father, but before that it was Eleanor's mother and father. My Uncle Eddie's kids. This is at a place now, we're at the reception, I think. And this is at a place called the Columbian Club, or the Columbian Hall, which has been declared a historic landmark and is still there and still in operation. And if you want to know where, I guess I should tell you that. It's on Richmond Terrace, and now I forgot the name of the intersecting street, but it's in the St. George area, just past Sailor Snug Harbor. On the extreme right, that's Jerry Satani again. And of course, me and Eleanor in the middle, and then her sister's off to the left. Jerry Satani is my brother next to him. And at the end, well, there we go, Charles Rogers. And that's his wife, Dorothy, sitting next to him. That's Jeannie standing up. We're over there. Jerry Satani standing up. My parents sitting at the table. Her parents. Things were very simple and uncomplicated then. You had what was called a setup. You got a bottle of wine or a pitcher of beer, a bottle of whiskey on the table, you know. And, you had a very simple meal. And that's just the way it was done. So we did that one twice. To be young again. The infamous bouquet. I don't remember who caught it. I don't know who took these, but they're jumping around an awful lot. A lot of motion here. That's Jerry Satani dancing with the bride. That's her parents dancing. I'll never give you reason to cry. I'd be unhappy if you were blue. Through the years. That's me and Jerry sitting down. I don't know who she's dancing with now. Me and her minister, the Reverend Reinwald. Reformed Church of Mariners Harbor. It's my friend Kenneth Lefebvre. There's Vern Rogers. Jerry Satani again. Okay.
I pray to the Lord to send me a love. He sent me an angel from heaven above.
I just don't remember who those people were.
In the sky, he placed in her.
Oh, that's the Reverend Reinwald dancing with my wife. Reformed Church of Mariners Harbor, which is no longer there. If you want the records, though, it's now reposing in the Reformed Church of Port Richmond, which is at the junction of Richmond Terrace and Richmond Avenue in Staten Island.
Captured my soul, and the kiss from her lips set my heart.
This is Daytona Beach.
Aglow, and
we're driving on it. Now, I had been to Florida twice before this, but this is probably our honeymoon. We're going down to Florida. In one of my previous visits, I went with my friends and parked on the sand. We went swimming. The tide came in and it was up to my hubcap, so I was lucky to get the car out. We're driving a 1958 Plymouth Plaza. Push-button transmission on the dashboard, mirror on the dashboard. The car was a pig. The paint faded. On our way down to Florida, we pulled into a gas station, filled it up, took the nozzle out, pulled out the whole filler tube with it. A short while later, the trunk leaked. Every time it rained, I had water in the trunk. freeze-out plugs fell out one winter. Brought it up to the garage for repairs and the radiator exploded. Driving for work one day under the Bayonne Bridge. These are, the name is Harbeck, Maryland, and I can't remember his name, but they're my wife's, your grandmother's, great-grandmother's, whatever, friends that used to live in Staten Island moved down there. She moved down there and married him. He was instrumental in getting the fuel injectors in cars. He financed the guy who invented them. And he was a plumber down there. He had a Mercedes 450 SL that he totaled. He loved the car so much, he had it rebuilt, which cost him more than if he had bought another new car. Yeah, that's lazy me. That's the car we had when we got married. Oh, Jerry Harbeck, that's his name. From Germany, spoke with an accent. Now, these are just sights down in Florida. But getting back to my story with that particular car, one day I'm driving under the Bayonne Bridge, and the wheel fell off. Well, that did it. I decided I'm getting rid of that car now. It's too dangerous to life and limb. Not sure, but I think I replaced it with a Chevy Corvair. Those were the air-cooled engine ones. Didn't have too good luck with that one, though, either. This is probably Cypress Gardens that we're looking at. Yes, it is. No, since that's my head, obviously it's my wife taking the pictures. Beautiful place. Lots of flowers. They have people dressed up in the old-fashioned costumes from the 1800s, so to speak. Those are the people dressed in the 1800s who are paid. The other people are tourists. That's how you can tell them apart. You got the Spanish moss hanging from the trees.
Now I know it's too late for me.
You can see how much of this film has faded over the years. Colors aren't true. This is a show they put on there. They water ski and they do like a pyramid on skis and everything. probably the first hang glider. Now this one is Weeki Springs, which is a little bit down the road from the other place. And this is all done underwater. And you're like a giant fish tank, you're viewing it. Frankly, in retrospect, I think the pictures of the people that we know are much more interesting, but this is what we did at the time. Okay, here we seem to have a bison and a deer or a doe. And in a little while, I'll be able to tell you where we took this. Peacock. And the monkey. Let's see if we have a human in here to date it. Well, obviously it was in Florida. That'll be some type of thing down there, probably an alligator farm or whatever. Those are the infamous flamingos. St. Augustine, that's where they had the horse and carriage. I remember that. You can tell it's in the 50s. Look at that, a packet. You haven't seen one of those in years, if you even know what it is.
So never leave me lonely. Tell me you love
And we're driving along, just taking pictures. And I do not know the significance of this site at all. But I'm certainly impressed.
each time we meet love. I find
Driving on the beach again. Somebody.
without your sweet love, what would life be? So never leave me lonely. Tell me you
Meet him, yeah.
love me only, and that you'll always let it be me.
How many times do you have an opportunity to look back and see what something looked like 50 years ago? That's got to be me. And that's got to be at her friend's house, the Harbecks. I think they lived in West Palm Beach. Oh, wait. No, this is Tony. This predates my being married even. One of my friends, Tony, we went down to Florida a couple of years before I got married, a long time before we got married, actually. And this is a place we rented down there, a motel. So this is way, way out of context. And this is 5240, roughly, would be the marker on that. Okay, we got a little kid now. Bobby, not Junior, not the second, just Robert, which really screwed up my life. Don't ever name your kid after yourself. Should have just left him there with the damn drum, let him bang it, bang it, bang it. But anyhow. It's my brother, her sisters, her mother. That would be my Aunt Mamie, I think, there. Sometimes it's even hard for me to recognize people. It's my mother, that's Grandma Bayonne, and that's got to be Vivian over there sitting down with her face away from us. Happy first birthday, Bobby? Looks like it. He started smoking at an early age, as you'll see soon enough, but he doesn't anymore. And by the way, this recording is being made in 2006. My brother Carl, his then girlfriend, which I'm sure his last wife wouldn't want to know about, it's Vivian Byrne. My wife, your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, Gotta be Bobby. It could have been Gary, though. I think Bobby.
I get the blues most every night.
No, it can't be Gary, because Bobby in the same film was older, right?
Since I fell for you.
That's gotta be Gary.
Since I fell.
Gary was born 1961, Bobby 59, so not a lot of difference in. Let's see, we got another little kid sitting there somewhere. I got balloons. Now this is actually in the house on Clove Road, the second floor apartment where we initially lived before we moved to New Jersey. That looks like Bobby. But gee, I get so mixed up. I should write my names on these films. And that is a desk your mother got me because I used to do a lot of typing and work at home. Learning how to walk. Gotta be Bobby because I don't see any other kid around. Okay, this is at a beach. After we moved to New Jersey, as I said, these films are out of context. That's your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. That's Bobby and Gary. The other woman there was Lois Ham. She was our next-door neighbor for a while. And this was at a lake that no longer exists. The lake was in Jackson. Out on the same road you would take to a place called Glory's Market. That's the neighbor's kid. Forget his first name. Jeffrey Ham. Everybody gets an inner tube. That's me. Years ago. That's Mrs. Ham. Lois Ham. My wife, your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. Ham's moved away, never to be heard of again. Okay, here we are, a little bit older, riding a merry-go-round. And this has got to be down at Point Pleasant Beach. And now we have two kids. There's Bobby, and there's Gary. Eddie Horsey. You know, in case it's CD or DVD or whatever it is exists for another 50 years beyond now, Bobby and Gary were born in St. Vincent's Hospital in Staten Island, New York. The following two children, Paul Gregory and Karen Andrea, were born at what was then Fitkin Hospital in Neptune, New Jersey, which is now Jersey Shore Memorial Hospital. Now, I have no idea the significance of this. It's got to be down the beach, Haven Beach in Point Pleasant, I guess. And those people that we're looking at right now are Doug and Vern. They were married. That's Doug Salveson and his wife, Vern Salveson, who was the former Vern Rogers. And there we are. I don't want to go in the water. Get in the green suit? He ain't ours. Well, that's Douglas and Vern. Douglas was a New York City policeman in a 120 precinct. He retired after 15 years. Sold the house in Staten Island, moved up to Maine, hasn't worked since. As of this date, he's still alive. Cheers for birthday number. And I have apparently omitted that. Oh, 3 in the corner. Okay, here we go. Birthday number 3. And that looks like a Gary birthday there. There's Gary's mother, blowing out the cake. That little kid in the front on the left is Jerry Satani, who is a funeral director now. Neighbor's children. Bobby Palmer's favorite brother, Gary. Little Red Wagon. And who could those two little girls be? Could one be Julie Ham and one Karen? The car in the street, that's Uncle Charlie's. Now that is a 1964 Dodge Polara that you see in the driveway. Not that's more important than the people, but I just thought you'd like to know. Julie Ham, Gary in the plaid, Bobby in the other shirt. Now that looks like Jerry Satani and his sister. Luann. It's the redheaded kid next door. Okay. Grandma Rogers. And then we have Jerry Satani, Jeannie Satani. Ah, there's your grandmother. She's in the wagon. Next door neighbor. And the tall guy over there, Charlie Rogers. That is my wife's brother. That's his wife, Dorothy. That is Lynn Rogers. Now, the Mrs. Lynn McFadden. Next door neighbor, the Hams. How are they getting so many pictures? Bobby in a little pedal go-kart. Gary following like hell. Must be a stoplight there. There she is. Eleanor M. Feith. Titian hair, watering the grass. It's my brother Carl. 1959 Chevrolet Impala. And off he goes. That's location is at 115 Darien Road, where my mother and father lived at that time, and he lived. He was just back from the service. Yeah, that's what we did back then. We sat in the driveway and watched the traffic go by. Next door neighbor, Julie Ham. Sometimes I wish it were so, the end. Okay, this looks like Halloween. I don't know what kid that is, but he kind of looks kind of quirky. That's Vern Rogers. Now Vern Salveson. Maybe Vern Salveson then, I'm not sure. Trick-or-treating. That's Vern, your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother's sister, whoever happens to be watching it. One is Bobby, one is Gary. And I have no idea what they're supposed to be. You can tell how old this is. That was a Volkswagen Beetle. And these pinks are not pink. They should be red. This sweater was Doug's. So I guess Vern was married to Doug at that time, which made her last name Salvesen. Okay, it's somebody's birthday again. Had to be Bobby's. He's blowing out the candles. There you go. The other two kids, Julie and Jeffrey Ham, next door neighbors. It's like a pinball arcade game. Okay, there's Carl, his wife Lois. It's my father. Lois's maiden name was Dutka, D-U-T-K-A. And that looks like it was taken to my parents' home at 115 Darien Road in Howell, New Jersey. Must have been Christmas time. Colors are faded. Yes, everyone smoked then because we didn't know. It's Lois, his grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother. Who knows? That's Carl, my brother, his wife. Now, just for informational purposes, he was a policeman in New York City. And he was in the newspapers a few times. Really didn't like police work. He quit. He moved upstate New York. Tried to get a franchise building log cabins, which he got, but wasn't successful at it. Eventually, he ended up being a teacher in a state correctional facility. And that's where he worked until the day he died, and he died very young. He was only 42. And that was from pancreatic cancer, in case you're wondering. Now, Grandma's not going to like this picture. Whoa. At some point in the future, somebody's going to go over this, redo the narration, take my voice out, put their voice in and say, that's me when I was a baby. That's me when I was 8 years old or 5 years old or 2 years old. And that's the way it should be. Charlie. That's Vern. Little Boy in Black, that would be Jerry Satani. And these are over Grandpa Rogers' house at 230 Auburn Avenue in Staten Island, New York. Woman leaning down with the black hair is Dorothy Rogers, Charlie's wife. That's my wife, your grandmother. That's her father, Harry Rogers. His wife, May.
He went away.
Charlie Rogers again. I told you, everybody smoked back then.
And when I wouldn't go out with you, you said things that weren't very nice.
That's your grandma. That's her mother. That's her sister Vern. And who's got the whiskey? It's got to be Grandpa Rogers. Uh-oh, there we got Bobby and Gary. Little Jerry Satani, Luann Satani. Looks like their mother Jean standing over there on the left. That's Dottie, Charlie's wife. And that is the feast. Okay, there's Jeannie Satani. Grandpa Rogers, little Jerry Satani next to his mom. That's me. Jerry Satani. I think he was only 52 when he died. Had a heart attack. Grandma Rogers. Dorothy Rogers. Jeannie Rogers. Or Satani now, me. That's Uncle Charlie. Little Jerry Satani. Little girl in the background over there. That's his sister Luann. That's Jerry Satani Sr. playing a guitar. And his mom, his wife. His wife.
To the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. Everywhere people stare, each and every day. I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide your love away.
Okay, we're in Little League now.
How can I even try?
Got to be Gary up at bat. He's the only one who's really into this. Uh-oh, here we are. This is Lake Cranberry in upstate New York, and that little person there, that is Karen Andrea. Just about, she's 1 year old. And as you can see, we're out of context again. I think this little kid is Paul. Come on, you can do it. Move your feet. And here we go, another scene. Oh, snow. Don't want no snow. And I don't know if this is Paul or Karen. Since it's in blue, I'll assume it's Paul. Seasons ago, from winter to spring to summer. Again, this is Point Pleasant Beach, the only place we ever went to. Oh, it does seem a little weird because they have all those reindeer there. No, I take it back. This is the North Pole in upstate New York. It's got to be Karen that I'm carrying. And there is Paul. Oh, they're doing a nativity play.
See it my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can go on? While you see it your way.
I'm not positive, but I think this is Ocean County Park with Route 88 in Lakewood, New Jersey. And I think that is Paul learning how to swim. Now this one I think is Cranberry Lake in upstate New Jersey, where we went on a camping adventure for a week. I went with Uncle Charlie, who is of course Charlie Rogers, my wife's brother, his wife Dorothy. Yep, that's it. That's Uncle Charlie's camp. And the little trailer, that's mine. That is Karen Andrea, 1 year old. Bobby, Gary, Paul. And the other kids you're going to see here are going to be Len, which is Charlie's son, and Len, which is his daughter. The bathing suit Grandma's wearing is actually brown and black. Although you'd never tell her from this video. And the sand is actually sand colored, not pink. I should have said this was Bermuda. Oh boy, titles now. We're getting really sophisticated. Looks like another Christmas. Again, as I said, these are not in sequence.
One way
There's Grandpa Feith, Walter Feith. Nickname was Watts, W-A-T-T-S. Don't ask me how or why, I don't know. But speaking of him, he used to be a good ice skater. He used to race down the New York City park system, and he won quite a few medals for speed skating. He was also a good baseball player, from what I understand, although that was kind of before my time, but I do have clippings of him and writings. This is the first puppy. You clap your hands and he moves. Sometimes not. Gotta be a Ronson. As you can see, the colors are so faded. That sectional is actually a blue. Okay, I'm pausing this now, and only to show that very few pictures of him. That is my uncle Henry Molesky, known as Hank, and that is Anna Molesky, his wife. Next to him, who is, or was formerly, Anna Galanitis, my mother's sister. And we'll proceed from here. My father. I'm not sure who that is from the back. I don't know who he is either. I think he's a stranger. Grandma Bayonne. Yeah, the kids are Bobby and Gary. My mother, Helen Feith. That's your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, or great-great-grandmother. That's my brother Carl. He was just home from the Navy, and he's going back now. He served on the USS Enterprise. And that's him going out the door with my father.
anybody.